What is up, Instagram? Chris and I headed back home after I don't know, was it a long day of monitoring?
You won't have to go there sometime. Ronald Reagan Presidential Library.
Yeah. Hey, Eric.
Here.
How's it going? Hey, Jax 1202. Hey, Sholape. Chris and I coming back home after a relatively uneventful day of monitoring, but something that had to get done. We're actually scanning documents for the CRA Academy for the interns. We've got some COVID studies we're monitoring. Hello, Mr. Pavin Tanisir. Yeah, how to clinical research. Great Instagram to follow. I see your post about Robinhood. How has the stock market been treating you?
Not well.
It's been treating us okay.
Poorly. What are you talking about? Okay, poorly.
Well, my personal account has been okay.
You haven't lost money?
No, I just have gold and Peloton.
I think you're sitting okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, but bought Tesla today. Good. Yeah, they have some battery news coming out. When is it?
22nd.
The 22nd of September. So
if it's good, stock price $1,000 a share, supposedly.
Sales are going in on the stock market. Yeah. So and Pravintani, how's it going? Jax 1202, Shalape. We are taking care of clinical research because research is very important right now, especially COVID. Yeah, bet on Elon. WDYW.TBC.
What was that?
Somebody. How's it going? I don't know.
Oh, it's her name?
Yeah. What is new in the research world with you guys? We had our monthly Patreon mastermind meetup today. It went extremely well. We got practical, actionable advice for people. I had somebody who was a foreign trained physician looking to get into research as a CRA. I told him, you need to look at the site level first. You need to figure out how to become a psychometric rater assessment. Hello, Ishantel 7. Hello, Raka Ems. Hello, Crass Gabrielle. Toronto in the house. Hello, Moto Milayo. We told this person, you gotta look into being a psychometric rater. Abby O. Noah Moore. Learn how to be a psychometric rater. You are a foreign trained physician. Willisha Duh. You are a foreign trained physician. You are in demand. You're in the San Francisco Bay Area. Alright? You got a lot going for you. You got it, and research sites in your area are looking for psychometric raters. But I tell you guys, no matter who you are or your background, research sites in your area are always looking for a couple of things. They are looking for patients. They are looking for studies. Free to be chick. How's it going? Hope you're enjoying the CRA Academy. Liana 878. What's up? Alright, sites. Look guys, I'm gonna be a broken record. Sites, Chris, I'm a broken record. Sites need three things. Can you name what three things those sites, what those three things are that sites need? Chris is mic'd up, guys.
A PI that will work with you.
Okay, well that's okay, yeah. Chris can make this more difficult for me. Fede Ferraro, Royal Research Corp 2018, Rod Raphael. Rod Raphael is the man with a master plan. I see all your dog pictures you're posting. Red Bottom 48, Sandrix 1220, Mickey Boulder Bluegrass. Love me some bluegrass. Royal Research Corp. Sophianne Bio sent a request. I would put you on, but with these mics that we have, I wouldn't be able to hear because I don't have headphones. Alright, but yeah, we should do a split screen on Instagram for sure. Sandrix 1220. So sites, Chris was being difficult, but sites need 3 things. Okay.
How am I being difficult?
You're making it hard. You're making it hard. Of course, sites need PIs, but sites need 3 things that people can get into the industry on. Okay, and sites need more studies, more patients, and more community outreach. So you're right with the physicians, clinicians. They need clinician outreach. DYUHLIEBEE. What up? What up? So those sites need those 3 things. If you can figure out how to get sites one of those 3 things, you're guaranteed internship. If you can figure out how to get sites 2 of those 3 things, you're guaranteed maybe a job. If you can figure out how to get 3 of those things, I mean, you should take over the company. They're gonna give you the company. So figure out how to get sites more studies. We got webinars on this stuff. How to get sites more patients. We've got webinars on this stuff. How to get community outreach. Community outreach, not ours. Community outreach to the clinicians, to the physicians, to the nurse practitioners, to the physician assistants. Those are what those 3 sites need. But this guy from San Francisco that was on our Patreon channel today, patreon.com/DanceFarah. It's only $5 a month, $10 a month if you're VIP. All right, we do a 15-minute call every month. This guy who's on the Patreon channel, community outreach. This guy who's on the Patreon channel, foreign trained physician from, I don't know what country he's from, but he immigrated to the U.S. Now he's in San Francisco. So he's got the educational background to be a psychometric rater. There's so many central nervous system disorder studies right now. Sites need raters. We literally are we can never have enough raters doing psychiatric studies. These rating scales, these rating assessments take a lot of time. These rating assessments are very difficult to do, and you need to have certain educational background. Steph, how's it going? You missed the Patreon monthly mastermind. What's going on? We are on there networking like crazy. Winnie Sai, what up? How's it going, guys? So with the educational background this guy had, it's a no-brainer for him to be a psychometric rater. But anybody, no matter your educational background, you can get site studies, you can get sites. Just go to clinicaltrials.gov, get site studies. Go networking in the community, get sites interacted with community clinicians. Post social media stuff for the site to get patients. Build a brand for the site to get patients. Retro Zuli Moji 28. What is up with you people on this Tuesday night? Chris Auber's driving. I am BJ Flexi.
We're going through Topanga Canyon.
We're going through Topanga Canyon.
No, are we? Will we?
I think we already passed it. I am BJ.
That way. It said fire there.
Oh, there's a fire? Yeah, there's fires all around us, guys. There's fire. California's
on fire.
Doing pretty bad right now. Al Kaula, what up? Okay, look, what do you mean lame? You're lame? No, you need to put your concerted energy into accomplishing the goals that you need to accomplish. Mona Lamb, all right. Are there CROs who own sites? Yes, there are CROs that own sites, especially in the phase 1 realm. A lot of them. 2C82 CRA Academy alumni with a job now as a researcher. How's it going? We got to do 2C82. We need to do an interview, all right? Just direct message me here. Tell me what day and time you can do it. You are such a success story. It's unreal. Recovering from sister's wedding. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you guys did tell me that you couldn't make it. It's okay. Make sure to get certified in the scales you administer. Exactly. You can get certified online. The CSSRS, which is the Columbia Severity Suicide. What does the CSSRS stand for, Chris? Columbia Suicide Severity Rating Scale. Something like that. Just look up CSSRS. Get certified online. You can get certified for free online for that one. And then you could pay for the PANS certification, which is positive and negative symptoms of schizophrenia. There's a lot going on. Raisin Quinn, how's it going? A long time no talk. It's nice seeing all these people on Instagram. What a blast from the past from some of these people. But Tusi, hit me up in the DMs. Alright, we got to make this happen. I'm excited to be in class with Monica. I'm expecting great things. That's amazing. Red Bottom 48. Monica is an amazing teacher. She in the CRC Academy, she has students doing like practical things. I mean, these students, their final projects are like getting studies for sites. Like what better way to go approach a site to be an intern or possible research assistant and say, hey, I already know how to get you studies. I'm doing it right now. Dr. Morena 809, how are you? How are you from Chicago? How's it going? Keep safe, everybody. Any recommendations for CRCs on how to best break down a protocol? What do you mean by break down? The best way, I think, to learn the protocol, yeah, I know the live keeps pausing. We're driving, it's sometimes bad reception, but the best way to learn a protocol for a coordinator is to actually create the source documents for the study.
Yeah, without a doubt.
One of the things I used to do, besides creating source documents, because I didn't like creating source, when I first started, I created flowcharts for every study. I don't even think you know that. I wish I still had some of these things. I had big posters on the wall for like a study. I still remember the study. It was called the Clears study. Hello, Tuna Turns. How's it going, Tuna Turns? What's going on? Boosty Junkie 82. What's going on?
What was your flowchart?
I used to make flowcharts. So I had the Clear study. I still remember one of the first studies I ever worked on. I had posters and I had boxes. So I broke it down by visit. So at screening visit, this is what you do. Does the patient qualify? Yes, no. It would go to a different route. It was like a map of what you do from when the patient comes in for that visit to when they leave. All right? ICF, for example. Like patient comes in, informed consent. Yes or no? No. Do informed consent. Yes. Continue to whatever assessment was next. You could break down flowcharts. You can create flowcharts for your studies. What better way? Matter of fact, if you have new employees, I would have them do this.
But doesn't the protocol, and more specifically the schedule of assessments, kind of act as a flowchart?
No, the protocol. That's the thing. These protocols are confusing. They don't act as a flowchart. They're like a checklist.
Well, not exactly, because many protocols have an order to the assessments.
Right.
It's a flowchart.
It's not a flowchart. Flowcharts have arrows. And yes or no.
It's still a flowchart. You do this, then you do this.
But it's not visual like that. It's not visual. See, people are asking, Myra, what's up? How's it going? So, yeah, no, flowchart, so the person asked me, how do you learn a protocol? I think the best way is to break it down visit by visit for your particular protocol with a flowchart. What do you do as soon as the patient comes in? Maybe your site has certain forms they need to sign.
I could see that for maybe a kind of a difficult study.
Yep.
Most studies,
but what a great way to learn the protocol, though.
Sure.
By forcing yourself to do this. See, the thing that's, I think technology kind of takes this away to some extent, is people don't have to struggle anymore to figure things out. Like, they just expect things to be ready for them. Like eSource, in a way, eSource kind of takes away the whole process of creating source. You say this all the time, eSource, it's really bad in Yuma right now. Yeah, but we want to start a site out there, so it's going to be really good in Yuma. We need a doctor.
Why is it bad?
They're saying it's very hot there. Someone agree with me. SandraX1220, thank you. She says, nah, Chris doesn't know. Protocols provide visit schedules, but I just wanted to break it down. See, people know what's up.
Well, maybe they need that extra visualization to conceptualize. I don't know.
Read it, and read it. Yeah, for me personally, that's what helped me learn, was creating the flowcharts. I wish I still had these things. I think I know where they are. They're in that old South Coast clinical trial building in the attic.
Really?
Yeah. I can't go in there anymore, unfortunately. And nobody's there that I know anymore, except one person. me. So read it. Sandix, yes. Sandrix, Jax 1202. People cracking up because they're saying Chris doesn't know what he's talking about.
That's okay.
No, they're not
I
saying
often
that. They're
know
not
what I'm
saying
talking
that.
about.
They love you, Chris.
Okay.
Let Chris know that he's loved, but be safe, man. You're texting like you're putting my life at risk right now.
I'm not texting, I'm just reading.
Reading, even worse. Create your own source, super important. So yeah, so my whole thing is like technology in a way is sort of allowing us to not, like, there's a value in struggle and in difficulty with, like, creating source is an example I can think of. Like, it's painful, it sucks. Of course, it's much better if you have eSource because the vendor creates it for you. But it kind of allows you to not learn the protocol. Same thing when the sponsors used to create the source for the sites.
That's one of the reasons they stopped doing it.
It's one of the reasons they stopped doing it. Melly Mel 31, what is up? Yeah, create your own source, super important in helping to remember the protocol. I know. If there's a table of events, it helps a lot. Yes, most protocol have a schedule of assessments. But yeah, there's something about the struggle that I think in most cases technology takes away, which is great because it makes our life easier, it makes things more efficient, it makes things cheaper. But it also, I don't know, it does something to our learning process. I think there's value in struggle. What do you think?
Well,
You think I'm crazy?
It certainly probably affects memory. I mean, who remembers anybody's phone number anymore?
That's a perfect example. Memorizing phone numbers, or what about memorizing how to get around your own city? You know, like with all this GPS that we're putting now, we don't even have to think where we go. And then, like, if something happens where you don't have GPS, you're not going to remember how to get there because you're not training that muscle. You're not struggling. Lately, I've been actually purposefully not putting in GPS to figure out how to get to places that I should kind of know how to get to. Because I've noticed that with GPS, I just zone out and don't even pay attention to where I'm going. Kind of like you're doing now with texting.
Paying attention, kind of.
Have previous studies been placed on hold and is focused on COVID vaccine now? No. Previous studies are starting. All the studies that were on hold are starting. COVID vaccine, I don't want to get into politics, but I think that's gonna the COVID thing will come to an end soon. I won't say anything more. But yeah, I mean, you still gotta be safe, but you know, it's a serious thing still. But I don't know if it merits a lockdown, extended lockdowns. And the vaccine, there's a lot of COVID vaccine studies, and there's a lot of COVID treatment studies. So if you're a site, or if you are a CRA, or if you're an independent contractor, or if you're a consultant, there's a lot of opportunities for you right now. If you don't know the protocol, what's your degree background and how did you get started in research? So I was pre-med, molecular and cellular biology, didn't have the grades, worked at a clinic, ended up, the owners left, basically abandoned it. So I got lucky, I was able to take it over. It was a struggling site with 2 studies, but I took it over, became the site owner, and learned all this stuff in the process too, and put my money into it and all that stuff. So yeah, I got started very much on accident, and then I got an MBA later, which I regret. If I regret anything, I regret getting my MBA, because I think it was more or less a waste of money. If you don't know the protocol in and out, it's hard to recruit anyone that could possibly qualify. That's true. But you can build a brand for the site. So it doesn't hurt for any site to be known in the community. Right? Whether the patients who end up calling are going to qualify or not, that's half the battle. But the hardest part of that is building awareness of the site, having an active social profile, right? Posting content regularly on Instagram or on Facebook, or having like a podcast or like a YouTube channel or something for the community, for the therapeutic indications. And then you could slowly start getting people at the site learning the protocols so that they can pre-screen properly. But just, I don't think anyone's going to argue with the fact that having more people call you or email you interested in studies is a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think most sites have problem with not enough leads, not enough people calling in. How does COVID crisis change the role of the CRA? I don't think it does. If we would have seen drastic changes, we would have seen it already between March and now. And what we're seeing is a return to normalcy, really. Like, we have in-person monitoring visits a lot more now. Most of them are still remote, but we do have in-person monitoring visits.
And they're no longer checking temperature.
They're no longer, we just went to monitor a site. They used to check our temperature every time we went. Now they stopped checking the temperature. So slowly, I don't know if it's too soon. I don't know. I'm not a health expert when it comes to this, but COVID hasn't really changed the role of a CRA. Matter of fact, it probably showed how much CRAs are needed. With all these COVID studies starting, they need CRAs for all these things, and there weren't enough CRAs to begin with, right? Like, and now it's just more studies. So yeah, it's impacted conferences for sure. And these virtual conferences, I've been on them. They suck. They're not conferences. These virtual conferences are basically like webinars.
And they were moving away from that prior to COVID ending. Quite a few sponsors were having these remote IMs.
IMs, yeah. But conferences like DIA, Bio, Magi, those things, those guys, I'm telling you, those people who own those conferences they're doing really bad. Really bad. Right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
And to some extent, I mean, the value, I'm on the record saying this, the value of those conferences is not the stuff that they present. It's who you meet and who you network with. That's the value. And doing this remotely, they basically took that part out. It's basically just glorified webinars.
I'm sure most people would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That's where the value is.
Do you think webinars are not the same? Nope, they are not the same. Do you think an exception will be made to be a CRA if you have years of industry experience? So yeah, if you have years of industry experience, you generally just need a bachelor's degree and you could be a CRA. If you don't have a bachelor's degree, it's very unlikely, I'm not going to say impossible, but it's almost impossible to be a CRA.
We know people that...
If you don't have a bachelor's degree, unless you've already been grandfathered in a long time ago.
Yeah, we know people that are CRAs that do not have a bachelor's degree, but you're definitely more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, the webinars are so boring, I agree. So when you go to these conferences, what you're seeing on the webinars, like when they do presentations, is basically in person, these webinars. So that's boring too. The value of these things has always been in the networking and walking the exhibit hall and talking to the different booths, the different decision makers at the booths. That's where the value is in conferences, and you can't replicate that. At least on all the virtual webinars I've been on, or on the virtual conferences, you can't replicate that networking. And it's just not the same as like chatting with somebody in a chat room versus going in person at their booth, asking them what they do, telling them what you do. I mean, you can have real business done that way.
Oh yeah.
Linda Jack 7, what's up? How's it going? So yeah. And we just hit some traffic.
Only figuratively.
Oh yeah, things have gotten better in LA with the traffic. I hope this is like permanent.
We didn't literally hit anybody.
Yeah, no. But LA has gotten a lot better with traffic. Make sure you stay 101 though. Don't go on the 134.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, what else do you guys think? You know, I think slowly things are getting back to normal. We're starting to see, if we would have seen changes, we would have seen them from March till now. And what we're actually seeing is, yes, some sponsors are allowing you telehealth if you want to see your patients, but most of them are saying they prefer inpatient visits. at the office. So yeah, make sure you don't do that. Make sure you do the one-on-one.
Yeah, well, people got to get on my way so I can get over.
I've been in research for a long time, but switching careers to occupational therapy. Love research. Any info or suggestions for studies that are not just pharmaceutical clinical trials? Yeah, nutraceuticals. If you're doing occupational therapy, there's a lot of academic studies that are not interventional or therapeutic. They're just studies. So clinicaltrials.gov actually has a lot of those things. I like to continue to practice some aspect of research. Yeah, definitely. South Africa, Linda Jack, awesome. What time is it? If you missed the topic, don't worry. This is gonna be posted on my Instagram profile as an IGTV video. So you're in good hands. You're in good hands. Especially with Chris, he loves flowcharts.
I do. I've created like 2 in my life.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yeah.
They do help. They helped me learn the protocol better and help me organize my thoughts because I'm very ADD.
Not for research. It was required in school.
Ah, okay. Amp Desserts. 3 hour 28. Thank you, Dan. Wow, so it's 3 in the morning? Or it's 3 in the afternoon? No, you guys do military time, so 3 in the afternoon over there. Or 3 in the morning. That would be amazing. I don't know what time it is in South Africa right now. What are the opportunity to work as international CRA? I mean, the same as it is here. I think the U.S. is obviously the most opportunities. But internationally, there's studies, depending where you are. Latin America is huge, growing research industry, especially places like Argentina and Colombia, and starting to now in Mexico. Europe, Asia, I mean, literally everywhere. Africa. The research industry is booming everywhere. So international CRA. Whoa, 3:28 in the morning. What a trooper. Are you waking up or going to sleep? That's crazy. Either way, thank you for being on. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here cruising through Universal City with me and Chris. Devanger, how are you? How's everything going? We've just been talking research, opportunities, threats. We haven't really talked about threats from COVID. I don't think there's really any threats to our industry. I think the biggest threats come in the form of technology, which I'm never against. But if anything were to be a threat to jobs, it would be technology. However, I do think the jobs would change to essentially allow for more studies. So I'm not too concerned with that. And I don't think COVID has anything to do with that. Isgak, what's up? Isgak, Johnny Guns. That's a cool name. Johnny Guns 671. How's everything? I'm pursuing a master's in clinical research from India. Can you tell me something about the future opportunities? The future is now, my friend. The future is everything. I mean, efficiency, getting patients in, quality of, in a place like India, making sure ethics as far as consenting patients is monitored properly. All right. Kukalanita 1111, what up? Ayaji Ogri, what is up? Isgak, thank you, man. How does artificial intelligence affect the CRA industry? What do you think about this, Chris? How does AI, we hear about AI all the time. How does artificial intelligence affect the CRA industry?
So I think it has no effect at this point.
Right.
Down the road, certainly could affect both CRA and CRC.
Right. And PI. getting wearables more into clinical research. The AI is so far behind what we need it to do, though. I think for the next several decades, we're all going to be okay. I think the demand for researchers is going to way outpace the supply, but I do think technology plays a role. But luckily for us, here's my favorite part about clinical research. Things happen so slowly. I'm going to show you guys Capitol Records really quick. For those that don't come out to LA that often, we're going through Hollywood. There's Capitol Records. Look at this traffic. This is 6:30 on a Tuesday after Labor Day, and there's like no traffic. Look at this. No traffic. Right.
Yeah, used to be bumper to bumper.
Yeah, I hope this is permanent. There's the famous Capitol Records.
So AI, I think its current effect is just identifying patterns, right? Which isn't really true AI, but identifying patterns, recognizing them. Hey, this could be a concern potentially, like for this patient, or just how to identify and handle things, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the initial steps of AI if it's not currently being utilized.
Yeah.
And that's probably all you're going to see for a while. Just identifying things that maybe a human would miss.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that affects anybody's job.
I don't think so either. I think it makes your job actually easier, and they're going to give you more. Trust me, those pharma and CRO that are paying you as a CRA, they're going to know the technology is doing a lot of your job. They're going to give you more of the human stuff, like source data review.
Yeah.
I think AI can, even not now, but AI eventually will do source data verification, but source data review, protocol compliance, GCP compliance, that's what's going to become important.
That's more true AI too.
And that's more true AI, and I don't think we see that for at least a decade or two.
At least 20 years.
At least 20 years, right? And especially in what I was going to say, clinical research industry, things move so slowly in this industry.
You have to adopt.
Yeah, but you're literally going to see the changes if AI gets to be that good. You're going to see the changes in every other industry.
But I'd go further
before
than that.
Research.
Let's say AI is truly implemented or useful in 20 years. True AI, right? It would be 25, 30 years until it's implemented in research.
Actually implemented, yeah. So all you guys watching, I mean, we'll all still be alive. Let's see, 50 years from now. I mean, God willing, a lot of us will still be alive, but I don't think we're going to be working. Maybe I'll still be doing live streams when I'm 90. For a foreign physician interested in pharma, what is the best choice to be, CRA or medical science liaison?
Find the right lane.
As a foreign physician, you would not be allowed to be a medical science liaison in the United States. You have to be a licensed, either a pharmacist or a doctor in the US to be a medical science liaison, unless I'm mistaken. So I think the best choice would be CRA.
Am I in a good lane?
Yeah, you're in a good lane. I'll tell you when. We're on 101, so yeah, you're going to take the 5 eventually. Any advice for beginners in clinical research coordinators to stand out for new hires? Yes, you got to rewatch this video because every site needs 3 things. Okay, getting studies, getting patients, and getting clinicians or the community interested in that site. So if you can figure out how to do those things for sites, you're going to be indispensable. This is the pillars, the founding pillars of our CRC Academy, which some of you watching are already in, the Clinical Research Coordinator Academy, taught by Monica. That is such a practical course for CRC. Like we have so many success stories already, and that's a relatively new program. So learn how to help sites get studies, do branding, get patients, do community outreach, do those things. MSL, medical science liaison. Yeah, if you can, MSL is an easier job, but you typically need to be licensed in the state that you are working in. And Adrian Solayaba, what's up? How's it going? So yeah, like I'll post this to my IGTV. We could rewatch it. I'll probably edit it and post it on YouTube to get people there. But see, you guys on IG, you're first. you're first. You get to see it live. I don't really like going live on YouTube so much. That's good. Goncalves Marquez, how's it going? How's it going? What's going on in your neck of the woods? As soon as I talked about traffic being good.
Yeah, you jinxed us.
Yeah. Hey, maybe things are getting back to normal. Is it recommended to come to the site after the class ends? For CRC, yes. Monica's already been having students. So definitely, if you feel comfortable coming out, come out. For the CRA Academy, we're not allowing that yet so far, but maybe in a few months we will.
That looks.
Is it recommended to come to the site after class ends? Yeah. CRA from Brazil, awesome. Yeah, I had plans to go to visit Brazil this year before COVID. So much for those plans. I was gonna go to El Salvador, I was gonna go to Costa Rica, and or Brazil. And instead I went nowhere. I went to my mailbox.
You went home.
Yeah. Medical science liaison requires you to be MD or PharmD, yes.
It does?
Yeah.
I thought there were like foreign doctors that were
Medical science liaisons? No, not for the drug companies I deal with. I don't think so, because they have to talk to doctors.
I just swore I was at a study in which I had that conversation with them.
Medical science, it probably wasn't a medical science.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it wasn't. It was a medical monitor, but that would seem to make more sense than
Yeah, medical monitor. Can one apply to the CRA position from research tech? Yeah, I mean, why not? It's a matter of standing out on your CV and on your cover letter and demonstrating what you know already. Because here's when people say that they need experience, what they're really saying is, we don't want to have to train you from ground zero. Like, we would like you to have a working knowledge. We're obviously going to have to train you on our processes anyways. Yeah, I think you're going right. You're good right now. So apply, make your cover letter stand out, start building a brand on LinkedIn. It's amazing how many people who are in your situation and looking for jobs don't use LinkedIn. Like, you should be using that. Yeah, I want to go to Brazil. Maybe next year, although that's not looking likely either. For other reasons. Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, I think we're going to end it, guys. But the replay, for those of you that came late, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Let's see if this works. Thank you, guys. I'm going to put this on YouTube and Instagram, so on the IGTV it's going to be there. Generally, how much overhead fee percentage would you add to a budget from a pharma? 40%. Chris and I are going to do a podcast on budgets later this week. Maybe. We got to work out some kinks, but it'll happen. I think you should be able to hear me better now. But yeah, thank you so much. It means a lot to me that you guys are on. For those of you that joined late, the replay will be on IGTV. Hopefully it's inspirational, motivational to somebody out there. Put this into work. Build a brand on LinkedIn. Start networking with people on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, Liliana878. And hi, ZYZIOX. How's it going? 40% is the way to go, Will. Thank you, guys. Replay will be posted now.